friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation, their head versus their heart. And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is Tinseltown Tarot, and pile number two is Tarot of the Divine. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today. But I do hope that at least one of the piles' messages do resonate. Please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow, subscribe, or book a private reading. So just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended. We'll look at how do they really feel about what's in their heart, and how do they really feel about what's in their head. What is going to be their next move? Will they follow their head or will they follow their heart? All right, so details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose the Tinseltown Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energy, so close your eyes. Think of your person. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alrighty, pile one. Specifically for no contact and or separation situation, their head versus their heart, what is going on, alright? So my left, that is this side, is going to be their head, right side, heart, right? So Wands, Queen of Wands, 10 of Wands. We have Ace of Swords, interesting, 4 of Pentacles, head versus their heart. Okay, I also have Oracle cards, so let's get into that as well. We have Never Ending Story. Is that in your view? Yes, it is. Okay. We have Bravery, we have Hidden Knight, and we have I Am Successful. Okay, well, let's first take a look at what is in their head, all right? So first off, yes, actually I was called to go to the energy of the connection first. All right, let's talk a little bit about the energy of the connection first. So it looks like there have been a lot of on and off cycles between the two of you. Maybe both of you come together, go back, come back, then both of you decide to separate, and then both of you miss each other and then come back again. And then for some reason, there have been a lot of on and off cycles between the two of you. It looks like both of you are on the verge of coming together. There is reconciliation energy, at least your person has started thinking about it. I also feel that with each time of both of you coming together, it's actually both of you working through things. So you come together, there's some conflict, you separate, you work through that conflict on your individual journeys, and then you come together for a while because you work through the initial problem, I guess I would say, or conflict. Things are aligned, and then there's a new conflict that both of you kind of are unable to work through, and then you go your separate ways. So each time it looks like there's different aspects of your connection that both of you are working through. And overall, even if it has been emotionally and mentally and physically exhausting to have all of these on and off cycles, both of you, when you look at your journey, like the bigger picture of the journey that you've been on, you will recognize that there has been significant growth on your individual paths, like the growth within yourselves, the transformation within yourself, as well as the depth and intensity of this connection, the bond that both of you feel, the closeness that both of you feel. So this kind of I guess journey, does happen, especially when one or both sides have been through a lot of significant trauma, possibly when they were in their formative years. So when they come together, there's a lot of kind of going on their individual journeys, figuring that out, coming back together. It is not a rule per se, it is just an observation that I have made. Most of the on and off connections that I've seen, one or both partners often have a very difficult childhood, or at least even including their teen years as well. And it involves a lot of that coming together, going on their separate ways, coming together, going on the separate ways for the relationship to build, for the relationship to grow. There is no right or wrong. I just want to say, one, sometimes that is the journey that both of your souls have chosen as well. All right. But yeah, that is just an observation that I have made. So one or both of you might have had a very difficult beginning to your life, and maybe a lot of very harsh experiences that have kind of become deep wounds in who you are today. And as this connection has its on and off cycles, it does look like a lot of those wounds of your past, not just, you know, with this connection, but mostly of your past, has actually been brought up to the surface, and both of you take your time to heal through it, and then you come together, and then you go your separate ways again. Different wounds keep coming up of your past. So that is one message that's coming through. So that's how you'll know if this reading is for you or it resonates with you. Yes, so if you, I don't know why this is coming through, Pal 1, but if you've been feeling a little bit dejected about, you know, why both of you keep having this on and off cycles, why sometimes you see other people, they just come together and then that's pretty much it. You know, they're together for the rest of their lives. For other people, you know, maybe they come and then they just go and then they never come back together. So you might be wondering on your end, why is it this constant on and off cycle? Maybe I was meant to explain this a little bit more just so that it would help you understand why your souls have chosen this path, because I think that there is this attraction that both of you have, and both of you keep coming towards each other. You know, even if there are certain wounds that are triggered, you walk away, you go on your individual paths, and then there's this magnetism between the two of you that keeps pulling both of you back together the moment you have finished a level of growth or transformation, and then both of you come together. So if you look at the bigger picture of your journey, Pal 1, you'll see that with every on and off cycle, like on and off one cycle, you will recognize that massive growth, not just within yourselves, but also on the journey that both of you have been on, especially the bond that is there between the two of you. All right. So, and, you know, I also feel, wow, I'm spending a lot of time on this, so maybe there is someone out there who needs to hear this. Okay, another message that's coming through is in the on and off cycles, you'll realize that the first one, the off cycle, it has reduced, like the time has reduced over time. And the reason for that is the wounds that were triggered in the beginning of the first few cycles were very, very deep wounds that were there in your respective lives that maybe came up in your formative years, maybe even in your teen years as well. And now most of those wounds seem to have healed, but there are still wounds that both of you are working through, have to work through on your own. So both of you come together, there are wounds triggered, go on your individual journeys, and then come back together. So that on and off cycle that's happened between the two of you, your person is recognizing that as much as it has been painful, as much as there has been so much of burden that both of you have been constantly carrying for quite some time in your life, it has also been liberating. Like this connection has also been liberating. And that's kind of a mental thought process that's going on. So maybe I was meant to explain all of this because your person is understanding that there has been a very, very deep purpose to why both of you come together, go apart, then come back together again. And as emotionally exhausting as it has been, sometimes even physically and mentally exhausting, it's also freed both of you from a lot of your past wounds. I don't see actually with respect to this connection, I do see maybe in your formative years, teen years, a lot of those past wounds have been healed through this connection and because of the triggers brought up in this connection. So that is something that your person, they are kind of figuring that they are different they are different because of this connection, or they have become different, they have evolved because of this connection. And that's kind of what's playing in their head. And I do see, even on both sides, their head and their heart, to be very honest, kind of on the same page over here. Their head is more on the analytical side. That's the doorbell. You can take that as a confirmation. But their head is more on the analytical side, kind of processing through different ways that they have grown because of this connection. And in their heart, and we'll get into that, it's more of, you know, is this normal? Like, is what I'm feeling for this connection, is it normal? Or if I were to tell other people that, you know, this on and off cycle between the two of us, these multiple cycles between the two of us, it's actually led to a deep sense of maturity, a deep growth within me. Because I do see that maybe people around you, like your friends or family, whoever know about this on and off cycles between the two of you, they might be fed up by now, you know. And it's natural, it's understandable, because sometimes there are different soul contracts that play out, all right? Sometimes it is come together and then that's pretty much it. Sometimes it is that on and off cycle, and that too is part of the contract that was predetermined before both of you came here. So there shouldn't be any judgment. That is just my opinion, Palwan. And I feel like maybe people who don't understand this, maybe people seem to have a very straightforward approach to connections, like, oh, you meet, you get together, and that's pretty much it. If there are on and off cycles, it means it is toxic or it is unhealthy. However, sometimes the on and off cycles, and of course, please use your intuition, please use your discernment, Pawan. Sometimes the on and off cycles are to remove the toxicity, are to remove the unhealthy energy or the misaligned energy that exists between the two of you, so that both of you can align together at some point in time permanently. All right. So I see that playing out. I feel like even your person is understanding it on some level. I think that this connection has kind of pushed both of you into very inwards, I guess I would say very inwards, inwards alignment is one word that's coming through, but also it's forced both of you to look inward. So this connection has put both of you on a self-love, healing, and growth journey, massive transformation as well. So that's what's playing in their head. In their heart, like I said, I already started tapping into that energy. Both their head and their heart is on the same page. I do want to say that, Palwan, but in their heart, it's more of, you know, how do I even explain this to someone, that this connection has led to such a massive growth within me? Because like I said, people around both of you might already be fed up. Like, again, are you both like coming together again, or what is going on? Why can't both of you just make a decision and stick with it? Why is this, you know, back and forth that keeps happening between the two of you? However, your journey is your own journey, Palwan. If other people don't understand it, but you do, you feel that within your soul, then you don't really have to explain it to anyone. Both of you don't have to explain it to anyone. And I feel like your person might be understanding that. Maybe they might have taken advice from other people, and maybe the advice was misaligned to the soul contract that both of you have playing out at this point in time. So they're realizing that they don't really want to tell anyone about what is going on between the two of you, because other people don't seem to understand. But intuitively, your person seems to recognize how big of a shift this connection has brought within them, the impact of this connection and the influence of this connection, how much it's pushed them to mature, to grow up. And frankly, I would not be surprised if this connection has, you know, kind of spanned years as well. So there's actually age growing up as well, but there's also that maturity, there's also that deep sense of you know, understanding who you are. And I would not be surprised if that has also been playing out on your end, given the level of maturity that's happened within them. Like, we have the Queen of Wands coming out as a central energy for their head, and the King of Cups coming out as the understanding, the underlying understanding of who they are today. And we have the King coming out of the King of Cups, so in their heart. So I do feel that both of you are closer towards ending the cycles. So it's possible that both of you have had massive growth, especially recently. It might have been a sudden exponential growth. It does look like both of you are ready to come together again for another cycle, but I don't see too many cycles Of course, I am tapping into many, many energies over here, so please be careful about that. But I am seeing, given the energy that your person is in, okay, I'm hearing two things, all right. So first thing is, if for some of you, this is future energy that I am tapping into, all right? So maybe there are a few cycles to play out before your person gets to this point. For others of you, your person is already here and you probably have just a few cycles to go through for both of you to come together permanently. Both of you have actually, whether you know it or not, through these on and off cycles, you've actually evolved to align to each other permanently, all right? And I think that you also, when you look back, you will recognize it as well. So in your person's heart, there is that clarity setting in that this connection has helped them heal a lot of their wounds that they maybe had with respect to relationships, with respect to opening their heart. And in their heart, it's more like, I don't think anyone else understands the depth of what I feel. I don't think that people need to also understand. So maybe in the past, your person might have looked to other people for advice, but it was very, very misaligned. And now your person is learning to kind of go within. They don't really want to talk to anyone else about what the two of you are going through. So that clarity has kind of set in within themselves. But yes, there are very, very deep feelings, just as deep as they are on your end, Pal 1. It is also very, very deep on your person's end. So head versus heart, it's not really a versus. Actually, they're very much on the same page. Their head is more thinking about the journey that's happened, and their heart is more, okay, well, no one else understands this connection, but I do, and that should be enough. I don't think that I need to force other people to be on board with this connection. So maybe you might have people against this connection or not really recognizing what the true essence of this connection is. Like I always say, especially when it comes to certain soul contracts, all right? And of course, I am not talking about abusive relationships. That is something that I do not channel. So no, I'm definitely not channeling that. This is a specific, soul level connection where both of you end up triggering each other. Then you go your separate ways, heal, take the time, come back together. Maybe there is alignment for a little bit, and then more wounds are triggered. Then you go on your separate journeys and then come back, right? And each time the wounds are not, how do I say this? The wounds are, there is evolution every single time both of you come together. That is very, very important, right? That is a difference between maybe, I guess, another kind of low frequency relationship where there is no evolution at all. It's just constant, and both of you keep hurting each other at the same level or even worse over time. That is not what I'm tapping into over here. What I am tapping into is there has been evolution, and very clear evolution. And in the recent past, there might have been like an exponential growth and transformation between the within the two of you and in this connection as well. All right. So the growth in every cycle, that is how you'll know this reading is for you. If there has been no growth, it has been constant on both ends, this is definitely not your reading. All right. I want to be very, very clear about that as well. And I think that the reason why I'm so clear, like I think that, I'm like literally, detailing out everything, because I think that it is so clear in your person's mind. And I'm able to tap into that energy at this point in time. Your person is very fiercely sure that there has been evolution, there has been massive, massive growth that's happened because of you. And I'm very sure that you also, when you take a look back at the bigger picture of this connection, you'll also feel the same way. And I do want to say, sometimes other people might not understand connections like this, all right? That is onto you to go inwards. That's usually a signal that you should not rely outside of you for advice or input or their thoughts. No, when you feel like it is misaligned, that's often a sign that you're meant to go within. You're meant to realign to yourself, because the answers that you seek are within you, all right? So whatever your next path is with your person, Pal 1, I feel like telling you, if you also have been feeling that no one really understands, as long as you do, as long as your person does, as long as both of you understand the connection, or even if you don't understand, as long as both of you can feel it, that's all that should matter. Other people might not understand. They might not understand the depth of it. It also depends on what they have been through, their limiting beliefs, their insecurities, you know, the frequency that they are operating at this point in time, the exposure that they have, so on and so forth. So sometimes people will not get the connection, and that's okay as well. And that's also something that your person's understanding at this point in time. Maybe in the past, your person might have gone over and beyond to kind of get people to understand this connection or be on board with this connection, but now they're like, you know what, it doesn't matter. I know what I feel, and that's pretty much it. That's all that makes sense to me. That's all I need at this point in time. So overall, head versus heart on the same page at this point in time. I think that both of you have been incredibly brave, because this is the energy of the connection. I think that both of you have been incredibly brave to keep pursuing, or pursuing your growth and your transformation. Of course, it has been as a result of this connection, but you've chosen to continue on that path of evolution and transformation. So I hope both of you, take some time to also look back at the choices that you've made for yourselves, not for your connection, but primarily for yourselves. And you recognize that you've actually led both of you to this point. Like, you've led yourself to this point of alignment. Your person has led themselves to this point of alignment, where there has been so much of maturity, so much of growth in your individual journeys, that both of you will be able to align in so much more smoother fashion. And there is like an end to the never-ending story, where there is a definite beginning of something that can sustain for long. All right? A very, very long main reading for you, like almost 20 minutes of a main reading. Let's take a look at what we will be seeing in the extended pile 1. All right, so we'll go into how do they feel about what's in their heart. We'll look at how do they feel about what's in their head, and then we'll look at what is their next move. Whether they follow their heart or their head, it is the same for you. So we'll just take a look at what is the next move and what can you expect next in this connection. All right, pile 1, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation we're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I really hope that both of you have the most peaceful outcome for your connection. I felt like speaking a lot today, so I think that maybe there was like a few of you who needed to hear it, or maybe you were a little bit confused about the journey. I do want to say what you feel is what you feel. All right, you're not crazy for what you feel. That's also one more message that's coming through. And as long as you trust what you're feeling, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It doesn't matter whether other people understand it or not. Most of the times, especially for soul connections like this, most of the times people might not understand. All right, and that's okay too. Okay. Pile 1, take care, trust your intuition, you always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 2. For those of you who chose Tarot of the Divine, this is going to be your reading, right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Right here. Pile 2, specifically concerning contact and or separation situation, your person, head versus their heart. What is going on? So this side will be for the head, this side will be for what is going on in their heart. Okay, I'll take that. Let's see. Pile 2. The Emperor, 7 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 9 of Wands, Page of Wands, King of Coins. Okay. I also have your Oracle cards, so we're going to get into that as well. We have I Am Patient, we have Yin, we have cooperation, and we have skull sight. Okay. Let's take a look in their head. What is going on? First, let's take a look at the energy of the connection. So yes, I think that both of you have been kind of looking inwards. Maybe both of you have been watching each other, kind of understanding whether the other person's ready or not for this connection. This might be limbo energy more than no contact. I also think that your person might be overwhelmed with responsibilities at this point in time. In their head, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. In their head, your person realizes that they need to make a decision soon. I think that you have been very, very patient with them about, respecting their boundaries, about respecting their obligations and responsibilities. And your person's kind of feeling like time is running out. You might be losing your patience as well. For some of you, I do feel that maybe your person, it's time to make some kind of decision about this connection, like next steps about this connection. Maybe it's went into limbo or no contact because your person wasn't able to decide what they wanted from this connection, or what they or how they saw their future. I think that your person is realizing that they need to make a decision soon. Your person's also realizing that you are not going to wait forever. So maybe you have started to realign to yourself. Maybe you have started to look in another direction as well. So somewhere, I think consciously or subconsciously, your person's realizing that if they do not think about what they actually want from this connection, if they do not make a decision and actually move forward with that decision, then that's pretty much it. They are going to lose you. They are going to lose this connection forever. As much as, maybe in the past your person was confused, they're realizing that that confusion has only harmed the two of you. It's only, kind of brought a lot of pain to the two of you. Your person does feel the loss of this connection, but that's more in their heart. In their head, it's more, I need to make a decision soon. I need to not just make a decision, but follow through. But am I ready for that decision? Do I feel mentally, emotionally, physically ready to make that decision at this point in my life? But I think the fear of losing you is kind of pushing them to take some kind of action, or to, I'm hearing, get their stuff together is also what I'm hearing. So that by itself is pushing them. They know they have to make a decision, but let's get a little bit into their heart, because it kind of, in their heart, there's a lot of holding back from making this decision. And it's not head versus heart for you, Paltu. It's more of explaining why they're taking so long to make a decision, because in their heart there's still a lot of wounds that your person is working through at this point in time. I think that it might also be just wounds from previous relationships, previous experiences, not necessarily has to be with respect to this connection, but your person is realizing that there are a lot of things stopping them from moving forward with this connection, and they are not ready yet. So in their heart, your person knows that they're not ready yet, but at the same time, it's kind of like a clash in their mind that if I don't make a decision soon, then I'm going to lose my person. But what do I do? Do I listen to my head? Do I listen to my heart? My heart says I'm not ready yet. My head says I'm going to lose my person. And I'm fearing losing my person because I don't want to lose my person. So is there something that I can do in between that can balance what's going on in my head versus my heart? So this is a very confusing time for your person. Even I, as a reader, I'm not sure where your person is moving towards. Of course, yes, I'll be tapping into that energy, but I might have to look into a much future timeline, because at this point in time, your person's very, very confused. And I actually understand their confusion. They don't want to make a decision out of fear, even fear of losing you, and then they make an impulsive decision and then realize that they were not ready for this connection. That would end up hurting you even more, hurting them even more. They don't want to take any premature action, but at the same time, the time ticking it's confusing them. All right, so I'm feeling very helpless at this point in time, and I don't know why. I feel like crying because, I'm okay. Just wanted to let you know, Palto, I'm okay, but it's kind of like, I have to get my stuff together, but I don't know if I have it in me. I do have feelings for my person. I do want the connection, but I also know that I am not ready for it just yet. And what if I take too long and then my person moves on? That would break my heart even more. So what do I do at this point? And that's why there's that withdrawal that's not able to understand what they are supposed to do at this point in time. It's a very, very confusing time for your person. And like I said, this is more of limbo energy than no contact. But yes, for some of you, maybe because of the inaction of your person, it might have led to, maybe arguments, maybe your person pulling away, maybe even just ghosting you as well. I do see that energy. But to be very honest with you, even if your person does take action, all right, Paltu, I don't think it's going to come from a stable place. I think that it might end up being like this burst of energy and then them withdrawing again, realizing that they're not ready. If you've given them some kind of ultimatum, I think that might be backfiring on the two of you, to be very honest with you, because your person needs their time, needs to take things at their own pace. But that is not on you to wait for them. Like, you have to follow your intuition. You absolutely have free will. If you do not want to wait for them, you should, do what feels aligned to you. But the ultimatum thing seems to be working against them at this point in time, because it's pushing them to make an impulsive action that they're not ready for. It's premature action. And if they didn't have that fear within them that you are going to move on or they're going to lose this connection forever, then they would still be making their way towards you in their own time, in their own space. And even if it would have taken them a longer time to take action, they would have done it from a place of security, stability, feeling fully ready to take that step. So I actually really don't know. There's so much confusion in my mind. I'm going blank as well. So I'm pretty sure I'm tapping into your person's energy and they don't know what to do at this point in time. They don't want to lose you, but they're not ready. They know that time is ticking, but if they take action, they know it's going to lead to just an impulsive action, and then they will not be able to sustain that energy technically. Or if they dig deeper within themselves, they want to come forward only when they are completely ready. But they don't know when that is, and they don't know if they will take too long to be ready for this connection. And what if they put in all of this effort to be ready for this connection and then you're not there anymore? How will they be able to deal with that heartbreak? It's a very confusing time for your person. Let me get more information. But yeah, I think there is also like this freeze energy that's coming through where they don't know what to do, so they're not doing anything at this point in time. That also is also coming through. I think that they do want to be with you. They do want this connection, but I think that there are a lot of wounds that are stopping them from coming forward, whether it is their own limiting beliefs, their own insecurities, or even past wounds from other connections, relationships in the past. So the question that's kind of running in my mind at this point in time, Paltu, is like, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? Do I go within, trust that if this is meant to be, it will be, and I take my time to heal and feel that stability within myself and then only come forward? Or do I take an impulsive action and just let my person know? And this could be in like breadcrumbing as well. That also energy is also coming through. There is an option there. But in their head, they know that this connection makes them so happy. And they want to choose. They really want to choose. But what do they choose? They don't know. There's confusion in their heart. There's confusion in their mind. And it's overall just very, very confusing on both ends at this point in time. I guess if they were to lean more to their head, it's, to be very honest with you, both sides, I said that, and then it's both sides, there is equal pull. In their head, there's equal pull between taking a logical route and doing what's right, all right? In their heart also, there's two things. It's very confusing for your person, pal, too. I don't know how else to explain it. It's like they want this connection, but they also want to come forward when they're ready. But if they wait that long, then you might not be there. And that's also what they don't want. So there's a lot of turmoil in their heart, in their head. I have to make a decision. I want to make it when I feel ready. This connection makes me happy, but do I make that decision now, or do I make it when I'm ready? You get what I mean? So there's a lot of confusion, even in their head, even in their heart. Let me see, what will unify that energy? Let's take a look at that. Maybe that's an aligned question, I guess, to ask right now. Look at that. I think that I'm pausing because it's going to be big on your person's end. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Everything that is not aligned to the highest good of this connection, whatever that may be, every option that does not align to the highest good of this connection will be wiped out. You do not have a say. Your person also does not have a say, pal too. All right? There is going to be divine intervention that comes through. So whatever choices your person has in front of them, that will vanish, that will disappear. And your person will have no choice but to follow what is alignment for the highest good of this connection, whether that could mean coming together or both of you going your separate ways. So for some of you, yes, it could be that your person, the only choice that is left in front of them is that they have to work on their healing. They have to figure it out completely before they make a step forward. And for some of you, maybe the highest good of this connection is that you move on. You decide that this connection is not for you, and that's pretty much the end of this connection. For some of you, maybe the highest good of this connection is that you will actually still have space for this connection in your heart, in your life, and alignment to that would be your person coming forward in more healed energy. So I would say advice on your end would be to follow your inner calling, to follow what feels right to you, to trust that if this connection is meant to be, it will align in divine timing. It will align when it is meant to. And if it is not meant to, you will naturally move on. It won't be an effort on your end, all right? So don't force yourself to move on, Paltu. Don't force yourself to stay or hang on as well. Flow. Flow with what you intuitively feel at this point in time. All right. Don't, there is this energy that's coming through that maybe you say, okay, I have to move on, or I have to hang on. Don't be in that insistence energy. The more you insist, the more you're resisting. All right. What I would say is let the universe decide for you. Universe, higher power, whichever one you want to believe in, let it decide for you. Let this connection play out the way that it is meant to. Don't resist moving on. Don't resist hanging on. Don't insist on moving on. Don't insist on hanging on. If you find yourself, when this person comes back, at that point in time, allow your future self to make that decision for you, depending on what feels aligned at that point in time. Maybe today you will feel that you would have moved on by the time your person comes forward, but maybe when it actually does happen, you will still have space for this connection. Allow your future self to make that decision for you. Don't make that decision for them right now. You don't have to. That's the message that's coming through for you right now, Paltu, all right? So don't put that pressure on yourself right now, right? Just flow. I would say be comfortable with not knowing at this point in time. Be comfortable with not making a decision because it is not the aligned time for you to make that decision. Leave that to your future self. Just say they will know what feels aligned to them. I trust that my future self will make that decision. At this point in time, I will flow. I will not resist what is meant to happen. I will not push myself to be in a certain state. If I feel I have space for my person at this point in time, I will flow with that energy. If I feel the pull within me to move on, to look in a different direction, I will flow with that. I will not insist that I have to move on. I will not insist that I have to hang on. The more you step into that energy, the more both of you will be aligning to the highest good. But I will say, Two of Cups coming out, pal, to you. So if this connection is meant to be whatever it is, like, it will find you. It will cross 7 oceans. It will cross heaven and earth to find you. All right? Pal, to you, that is the depth of trust that you must have. And just know that even if it is not meant for you, all right, even if it is as close as, to your lips, it will slip by. That is how powerful meant to be, not meant to be really is, right? So trust that the highest good of this connection will play out. However it is meant to protect you. It is meant to protect your person, right? So whatever that is meant to happen, your future self will know, will naturally understand what is alignment at that point in time. So leave that decision to your future self. I feel like this is something that I actually want to talk about a lot more in depth, because this is something that I've taken quite some time to understand. I didn't understand this concept before. But for me, even on a personal experience, I would always say, oh, okay, I have to move on by this time, or I have to let go by this time. And when that time came, I actually felt differently. My future self felt something completely different from what I had insisted to be alignment. And what was alignment for my future self was completely different. And after multiple times of doing this, I realized, hey, I shouldn't be making decisions at this point in time, especially decisions that my future self is meant to make. And what feels like what I think is alignment of my future self might actually not be what truly is alignment of my future self when that time comes. And so today, I think that there's a lot of letting go that happens on my end, especially when it is a decision that my future self has to make. And I feel that energy coming through for you as well. I feel like that advice is meant for you as well at this point in time. Don't insist. Don't force yourself to feel a certain way. Don't force yourself to move on. Don't force yourself to hang on. Just be. Just observe what is happening, all right? And just let go. Just recognize that your future self has got it covered, and you don't have to take on that tension, that unnecessary pressure at this point in time, right? Just flow with what is happening, what you are intuitively feeling at this point in time. That's pretty much all one's job is what I have understood, just what feels aligned right now. That's all that your present self has to focus on. Your future self will handle it at that point in time. Pal 2, a lot of conversations happening. Even in Pal 1, there was like a lot of deep conversations happening. So maybe someone is meant to hear it, someone wanted to hear it, someone asked for it, and I was the vessel for it. So yes, this is where I will leave you for today, Pal 2. Let's take a look at what's in the extended. Yes, I almost forgot. Okay, so we will look at how do they feel about what is in their heart, how do they feel about what is in their head, and what is their next move going to be, all right? What might actually play out on their end. We'll take a look at that. For this, I do feel like I might have to tap a bit more into future energy, so we'll look into that as well. I think that this confusion will stay for quite some time. I am seeing it to be present, continuous, so I'll try tapping into a little bit more future energy of what will they lean towards. Even next move feels a little bit difficult for me to say at this point in time, like given the energy that I'm feeling from your person. So maybe I will look at not even lean towards, honestly, because with the Tower coming up, I think that the decision will be made for your person. I don't think that your person will have to make that decision for themselves, which I think is relief. It will also be painful, bittersweet, I am seeing. So what I think I will change this question, I feel called to change this question to what will be the decision made for your person, all right? Because it looks to be external. It doesn't look like your person. I think that they will be given a chance to exercise their free will, but I think that that time will run out and there will be no choice but divine stepping in and making that decision for your person, which, like I said, it will bring relief to your person because that decision will be made for them. But at the same time, it will also be because it is alignment and there is going to be like a transformation that's meant to happen, it will also be bitter. It will also be a little bit of pain that your person will have to go through to align to that choice. All right. So I think I'll ask that question instead, like clarify the Tower. All right. So that is the third question that I will be changing when we talk about this then. Alrighty, pile 2. This is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. My private readings are open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. Pile 2, take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.